Hi there, I'm Christine, the Gemini Stitcher, and welcome to my sewing shack on a wet and torrentially rainy Monday in Lancashire. We had some pretty good weather over the weekend, but today we're back to the good old Lancashire rain. But we're not going to let that spoil our day because we're talking sewing. So what did I make? Oh, before I start, I'm remembering to tell you what I'm wearing. I've got on my Style Art Roxy overshirt that I made the other week. Absolutely loving this in this weather for layering up. Pop an image, stock image of it up, and some images of me wearing it while we talk about it. So the Roxy shirt is a Style Art pattern shirt. I made this one up as a loose overshirt and I went with the size 10 to 12. If I made it again, I would downsize to a size 8 to 10 for a more fitted shirt. Depends what you're using it for, doesn't it? I wanted this as a loose overshirt and so underneath I've got the blouse that I made for the So Frugal in April. When was it? It was March, wasn't it? Wow, time flies. It is from Mood Fabrics. It's one of their free patterns and I can't remember the name of it, so I will look it up and put the deets at the bottom in case you want to give it a go. But it is just a basic blouse. And then, of course, we've got the good old apple green sepia pants on with it. As I said, I will be putting some images up of me wearing this outfit because I didn't manage to get any photos, and maybe a little twirl in there as well. So before we get into what I've made this week, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who comments on my videos week in, week out. You lift me. It is absolutely brilliant. And some of the ideas that you come up with that I hadn't thought of are superb. So this is a two-way channel. I give you my ideas in the hope, fingers crossed, that you give me a few ideas back as well. So don't be shy of commenting. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, constructive criticism is always welcome. I've got broad shoulders for a little lady, so don't worry about upsetting me. If you don't like what I'm saying, say so. If you're new, welcome. This channel is all about sewing, and Mondays are my Monday makes and plans. I also do 2 other videos in the week, busy lady, all sewing related and quite random to be honest, but the ones on the Monday are my makes and plans for the week. So without further ado, shall we go and have a look at what I've made last week? Now, there's a proviso here before I start talking about this. If you watched my this or that video vlog that I put up on Saturday, you will know that my sewing machine died on me last week. It went to the sewing machine hospital, so I'm using that. It's a legitimate excuse. There isn't as much sewing this week as I would have liked, but I have made some things. So shall we have a look at what I've made? Let's go. The first thing, so proud of this. I showed it last week and it was on my plans. It was the Haralson Bag by Noodlehead. How gorgeous is that? I've put a lock clasp on the front. I'm really proud of this. Luke's. Doesn't look homemade. Not by any stretch. I got it as a kit from Little Miss So-and-so, but now I've got the pattern and the kit, and there is a sew-along, 2-part sew-along that Noodlehead do over on YouTube, and it is superb. Couldn't have made this so well without it. I would have made it, but it wouldn't have looked as good. So these, apart from the accent fabric, the main fabric, that's from my stash, which actually goes quite well with this rainbow canvas that I got from Little Miss So-and-so. I do think they've still got some of this left if you want to make one the same. So on the back, it has a really handy zip pocket with, wow, pop up, serious colour in the lining. Love it. So that is a handy back zipper. And then inside, more brightness. Another zip pocket there for you to keep your valuables in. Quite deep, quite roomy inside. I am definitely using this when I go on holes at the end of September for on my flight. It has an adjustable strap, which, let's just pop it over my head. And there you can see I've got it set so that it's like that. It's nice and safe, because a lot of these crossbody bags, people are getting things nicked. So this one I liked because you can shorten the strap and the shape of it hugs your body. So I can have it at the front where I can see it, keep my hands on it. Nobody's getting my goodies. So that's the Haralson. Keep saying it wrong. Haralson bag, crossbody bag that I made. And I'm super proud of it. In fact, I got enough fabric left in the kit of the canvas to make a couple more. So that was really good value from Little Miss So-and-so. Have a look at their kits because they are so good with the amount of fabric that you get in. Certainly for this Haralson bag, I thought it was well worth it. As I said, I'll probably get another 2 out of it. So what else have I made this week? I've only made one other thing. But you know, bags are time consuming when you make them for the first time, so that's my excuse anyway. So the other thing that I've made, dropping off the hanger, is the Avenir Jumpsuit in this beautiful palm fabric that I think I got from Walthamstow. Either that or Joro, one of those two, because I don't think I paid more than £15 for 3 metres. I've put the pockets in the Avenir. I made up a size small and it has come out quite roomy. So if I wanted one that was a little bit more fitted, I would definitely tempted to go down to an extra small. So they do come out quite generous, to be honest. So the sizing for the Avenir is extra small to, bear with me because I've got it written down here on my iPad, to 7X. So a huge range. And that equates approximately to a UK 6 to a UK 34. So you can't say fairer than that, can you? It is a huge size range, which is great. It means everybody can have an Avenir jumpsuit. I love it. It's like secret pyjamas. Absolutely love this. I've made it in a floaty viscose, and I am tempted. Other people have said you can make it in jersey fabric, so I think I will try one next time in some jersey and do the long sleeve version for the autumn, because I like to get bang for my buck out of my patterns. So that's another one planned. This is definitely coming on my holes. Hopefully you'll have seen some images, don't know which side I'll put them on, while I've been talking, of me wearing it and one of me doing a little twirl as well. So that is all I have made this week, because Shirley the sewing machine decided to conk on me. But we're all fixed, we're all good to go, and I've got loads of plans for this week. So strap yourselves in and let's get cracking. The first plan for this week is one that I should have done last week if Shirley hadn't conked. And it is this New Look 6550 dress. And it's being cut out. I feel like I keep bringing this fabric out week in, week out, never doing anything with it. It's getting done this week, and it's the John Calder stretch jersey. viscose jersey that I got from Amothreads. And for future, for winter, I wanted to make another one of these dresses. Just get it a bit closer than you can see. But I wanted to do it a bit different. And I'm going to try and do a mashup. I'm excited. What I want to do is, and I'll pop an image of the top half so you can get an idea. I want to change this plain t-shirty top into the Friday Pattern Company's A-Dream. Into Friday Pattern Company's A-Dream blouse. There it is. So I want to do the top, but it's all in one, this. So I'm going to have to tape the pattern pieces together and grade. So I'm going to get the Avenir pattern out. Avenir. I'm going to get the A-Dream blouse pattern pieces out, overlay them on the top of these pattern pieces at the top half and see how they'll fit together. Might be a bit of tweaking to do, but that's my challenge for one of my autumn makes. So bear with me on that one. It's not going to be probably till I get back from Gran Canaria at the end of September, beginning of October. But I quite fancy doing that, and I quite fancy doing it in a stretch velvet. Watch this space, we'll see if that works. But I need to get this one done first, don't I? So that's definitely getting done this week. It would have got done last week because it is an easy sew, but Shirley can't. So there we go. And then the other thing that I'm going to make a start on this week is the Maison Fauve Pilar Jacket. Let's get that up close so you can see it if you've not seen it before. Love, love, love this jacket. I'll put some stock photos up and then you can see what the lovely models look like and what it should look like, but probably won't on me. But hey. So, what sizes do Maison Fauve do their patterns in? Well, their patterns start at a 34 and go up to a 52. Now, it's all done in centimetres, soz. So your chest measurements start at 80 centimetres and go up to 122 centimetres. So if you're in the UK and you're working in inches, we're weird, aren't we? Half our things are in metric and the others in imperial. We need to standardise ourselves seriously and get our heads round it. How we managed to switch between the two like that is beyond me. But metric came in while I was in school. I think I was might have even just been in junior school. So I'd learnt one way and then I had to learn another way. And I think that's why we can switch between. Anyway, I digress. So what fabric am I going to make the Pilar in? If you saw my monthly makes and plans, you'll already know. Let's get a piece of it out. But I'm going to be doing it, wow, in this super colourful, bright stretch canvas. And I got this from Fabric Godmother in the sale. If they've got any left, go and have a look. It's beautiful. It's got a satin finish. And it's the perfect weight for a jacket. So I'm going to make that Pilar jacket in that. And just so people see me coming. Because, you know, when you're small, you've got to wear bright clothes, otherwise you get trodden on. That's my excuse anyway. I'm teaming it up with a pair of the Italian Jupe Frankie trousers. There's an image. It's all cut out in there. I'm not pulling it all out because I'll never get it back in the packet, in the Ziploc, because there's the jacket pieces and the trouser pieces all in there all together to make as an outfit. So we're going to do Pilar jacket, Frankie trousers in this super bright Wowza. Fabric. What do we think? Can't wait. Can't wait. So that's all I'm planning for this week. And I'm not sure I'll even get that lot finished, but we'll see. Keep looking at this bag. I absolutely am chuffed to bits with it. If you've never made a bag before, have a look at the Haralson. The sew along is in 2 parts and she is brilliant. I didn't even look at the written instructions, I just sewed along with her and it was great. And it came out perfecto. Now, if you follow me, you'll know that I've started doing shout outs on my Monday Makes videos for small sewing channels. The reason being, we all love and I watch the biggies myself, but we rely on YouTube feeding us the information for the new channels and they don't always get through. So, me and Sequin Girly Creates, the lovely Sam, have started a campaign for small sewing channels. We're going to shout a small sewing channel out on our weekly makes videos, and because we're both small sewing channels ourselves, we're going to use the hashtag small sewing channel. It's already been set up by me last week with my first post, so there probably won't be much under that hashtag at the moment. But if you're a small sewing channel and we don't shout you out, that's okay. Still use the hashtag small sewing channel on your vlogs, and then hopefully the idea is that people, viewers, subscribers, if they want to look at something a little bit different for a change, they can just search by the hashtag small sewing channel, and all the smaller sewing channel options who've used the hashtag will appear for them to try and drive smaller sewing channels, and that way us littlies will get a little bit more noticed. Fingers crossed. So if you want to join in, if you're a small sewing channel and you want to start doing the weekly shout out of other small sewing channels, that's fantastic. Do it. We all need to lift each other up and help each other on this journey. And use the hashtag small sewing channel. If you're one of the big guys and you want to help us little guys, then if you would start shouting out a small sewing channel on your weekly vlogs, that would be phenomenal. How fantastic would that be? So that people get to see all the sewing channels under hashtag small sewing channel. So that's the plan. Let's have a look. I wrote a few down to get me started, and I have watched them and have subscribed to them and started following them, which is great because it's giving me a whole new world of YouTube channels to watch. So this week I'm going to nominate the Carpe Diem Stitcher. Her channel is just lovely. She has some great ideas. She loves bright fabrics like me. And she's going to have some exciting vlogs coming up because she's planning a collab with What Beck Sews. So that will be interesting because collabs are great. It's where I think the one they're doing is where they're both using the same fabric and you get to see their different garments that they make from the same fabric. So I think they've put their first one up where they reveal the fabric. So pop over to Carpe Diem and also What Beck Sews and see what they're planning. So that's the shout out for this week. I really would be grateful if Carpe Diem Stitcher also shouted out my channel when they next do their vlog, because that's how we get out there, by lifting each other up and letting all our subscribers know about the other channels that they can watch as well. Before I go, every week I've started asking you a little question and get you thinking about things. And last week's question, OMG, the responses and comments were phenomenal. And I knew it was going to be a bit controversial, but it was interesting to see how many people actually agreed with what I was saying. So if you want to see what I said, have a look back to last Monday's Make Some Plans. But basically, it was all about pattern companies copying the big fashion house designs. And what did we think of it? Now I could start rattling on about it, but I won't. Go back, have a look, and have a look at all the comments, because it was a really interesting subject in the end. And there were some things that I had not thought about. So I'll have a bob back and see what people thought about last week's question. So this week, I'm going to be a bit nosy. You all see where I do my sewing in my sewing shack, even when it's raining. So the question this week is, where do you do your sewing? Have you got a special sewing room and lucky enough to have all the kit and caboodle? Do you use your dining room? I watched the Sewing Bee. I don't think it was this time, it was the time before, no, the one before that, I'm rambling now. One of the Sewing Bee series, there was a guy and he had his sewing machine on a little lap table in front of him, in front of the TV. And that's where he did his sewing at night. I don't think I could cope with that. I need a load of space for everything to be laid out, but that's what he did. So my question this week is, where do you do your sewing? Let me know in the comments. I would love to know. And then I can visualise you all sewing away. So that's it for this week. I think it's probably a little bit shorter than usual because I only had 2 garments. And then my Make Some Plans, there's just 2 things because one of them is a jacket and a pair of jeans. Not sure I'm going to get both of those done, but I'm going to give it a go. So I'll say goodbye from rainy Lancashire. Have a lovely sewing week. If you're new to this channel, please give it a like and consider subscribing and hitting the bell so that you get notified for my next vlog. The next one will be on Thursday, and it's one that I should have done last week, but you will understand why when you see it, because it was impossible. I couldn't do it, so I had to switch things around a bit. So, right, I'm waffling now. Happy sewing. Let me know where you're doing your sewing this week, and I will see you again on Thursday. Take care. Bye for now.